Good morning, everyone. This is Maysha with Stay Home and Come With Me, a transformational journey without and within. And today we are going to be talking more about grounding. And we're going to go ahead and do all the things we did yesterday. But before we get started, I see someone's here. Good. Good morning. I can't see yet who you are. I'm trying to watch on my phone too because it's not showing me here. So before we talk about grounding, I just want to say that we are doing Facebook Live today instead of YouTube. And here we go. Now I can see. All right. And so I'm excited to be doing that. I'm more comfortable here actually than I am over there. Nothing wrong with over there, but I'm just more comfortable here. And I'll be putting everything on YouTube, so it'll be stored there also for people who are YouTube users. But for right now, I'm going to stick with Facebook because I'm just more comfortable there. So, and yes, I'm sitting in the chair today because part of this is to show you all that there are all sorts of ways to ground and that you don't have to be in the floor to do it. You don't have to be sitting cross-legged to do it. You don't have to do it from a spiritual perspective if you don't want to. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing that a lot, but I want everyone to know that there's no agenda here. You can be as spiritual or non-spiritual with this as you want to be. If you view everything as just energy and just want to say universe and that's how you feel, that's okay. If you're more spiritual and you believe that you have spirit guides and guardian angels and all of those things, then that's okay too. Everyone's welcome. So I don't tend to call in my spirit guides and guardian angels unless I'm doing energy work of some sort, healing work of some sort. So I don't just call them in for grounding, but some people do. So that's okay too. It's whatever it is that you are comfortable with, because this is your journey and that's what it's about, is staying authentic to who you are and going down on this journey together and learning from one another. And you may change your mind at some point about some things, you may not. I believe that I change my mind about things all the time. I think learning is a big part of the journey. I think that's what we're here to do, of course, is to have experiences, learn from them, and move on to having a better life because of it, and expand consciousness in the meantime. So that's what I'm here to do, is learn and share what I've learned. So let's talk about grounding from exactly what does grounding mean. It's a balancing of the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual energy states in the body. It's reconnecting them all together. We tend to disconnect from who we are because of the type of lives that we live. We live very hectic, stressful lives here. And it's sort of a form of escapism to disconnect from self. The problem, and that's okay, that is an acceptable form of downtime, an acceptable form of recharging yourself. Escapism in limited amounts is fine. The problem is when we don't reconnect to self. When we don't reconnect to self, we become ungrounded. There is actually an epidemic of being ungrounded in the world. And there are many more ways to talk about grounding. This is the standpoint that I'm going to use today, is this standpoint. Because, of course, I understand the positive and negative ions and all of that, but this is the standpoint we're coming from today. This epidemic of being ungrounded, I think, also relates directly to the epidemic of chronic pain and invisible illnesses that we have. And I've had one my whole life, so I can say that. When I was a child, I learned to use escapism. Very, very early age, I used escapism. I would replay episodes of Gilligan's Island in my head and live on the island to escape. So you know how far back I'm talking. I was a little bitty girl, and I started doing that. And as I got older, as a matter of fact, I can tell you that as far back as, or as recently actually, as just 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 maybe. I literally sat in the doctor's office and said, I live my entire life in my head. And I'm not okay with that. And the doctor said, well, do you dissociate? Well, no. I know who I am, where I am, all of those things. I don't dissociate. And so the doctor was okay with it. And I'm not putting the doctor down. My point is, they didn't recognize that I was ungrounded. Because Western medicine doesn't think in that way. It's starting to. I'm coming across friends who have doctors that's what they're actually doing in their offices. They're having them ground and clear their energy. And I'm like, that is amazing and wonderful. And I'm so glad to hear it. And they were sending them places to do this. So, but the truth of the matter was that escapism became how I dealt with so many things, that I was chronically ungrounded and really didn't know what grounding meant. Because an analogy that I came across and loved was, how ungrounded are you? Gave the analogy of putting a frog in a pot of boiling water. If you put the frog in the pot when the water's already boiling, the frog is going to jump out. I mean, the frog's going to recognize, wow, this water is boiling. This is dangerous. This is not a good thing. Good morning, John. Good to see you. But if you put the frog in the water when the water has just been put in the pot, and then you put it on the stove and you turn the heat on, and the frog is in there while it's just gradually warming up, the frog doesn't realize what's going on because it's adapting to the situation. And by the time it realizes it, it's in trouble because it's stuck in the boiling water. That's how many of us with chronic pain and invisible illnesses have come to be so ungrounded. It started out a long, long time ago because of traumatic things going on, or just too much stress in our life, or bad programming that we had, or a combination of all of these things. And then perhaps a trauma that we experienced physically came along with it. A whole conglomerate of things happened. And then just gradually over time, we just became more and more ungrounded. And because we are from a Western medicine mindset, most of us, we didn't know that we needed to be grounding. Or we thought grounding was just something that you did at the beginning of meditation and yoga, and we didn't really know what all that meant. We didn't know that there was a deeper meaning to all of it. And now that we do know, though, we can make such a difference. You see, when we're ungrounded, they've come to understand in the chronic pain world that what's going on with people with chronic pain and invisible illness is they're pretty much in chronic fight or flight mode. Fight or flight mode. The body has decided that it's in danger, and so everything is heightened. Our senses are heightened. We experience pain more acutely than other people do. And we're constantly in this state of fight or flight. You understand fight or flight. That's like when the bear's coming and all your senses are elevated and, okay, well, we're like that all the time. Well, that's because we're ungrounded. Grounding will help reverse that. I know because of having chronic pain and invisible illness condition, fibromyalgia in my case, traffic absolutely overwhelmed me because everything was rushing at me. Airports overwhelmed me. Everything was rushing at me. Sometimes ordering at a fast food place, the pressure of people behind me and trying to scan the board fast enough to not be causing chaos for other people. I'd just as soon just eat the same thing every time than go through that. That's ungrounded. There's nothing wrong with me standing there long enough to look at the board and figure out what I want. So what it does to us, being ungrounded, it causes things that normally we would be able to handle to be something we can't handle. Now, I'm not saying that for every chronic pain and invisible illness condition that just getting grounded is going to change all of that, but it's going to make a difference, I promise you. Mental fogginess that we have with fibromyalgia, fibrofog, all of those symptoms are also the symptoms of being ungrounded. And whenever I started with my quantum emotional healing sessions back earlier in the year, I didn't really realize that one of the things about those sessions were they were very grounding for me, because there are so many ways to ground, more than what we've been taught. You can ground, but anything that makes you present to self is grounding. And those sessions were doing that for me. And so my mental fogginess, which was my biggest debilitating factor, was impacted immediately by those sessions. So grounding, if you have chronic pain and invisible illness, grounding is something that needs to become a major part of your self-care. Self-care is more than a spa day. Self-care is more than just self-care is very individualized. And depending on your situation, you have to adjust your self-care that way. But for everyone, grounding should be a part of their self-care. A whole lot of reasons for that there's no time to get into today. But it's very hard for me to do this because all of these things are so interlinked, and I want to go on these tangents and tell you so much more about everything. So it's very hard for me to stay to just this aspect of grounding, because I want to get into why everybody should be grounding and why there's so much more of it in all the aspects of self-care. But I'm trying to limit it to just this segment today. And that's hard to do. I'm very excited about all of it because it has made such a difference. And what I'd really like to do is get on here and just tell you all everything I know about it, but nobody's going to want to watch that in one setting, so we're going to limit it to this. But your self-care when you have chronic pain and invisible illness should absolutely include grounding. So that is one of the reasons also why I wanted to talk about it today and put this as one of the first topics, is because I know so many of you that are in my audience do suffer from chronic pain and invisible illness. And this is quite relative to having those conditions. But it's relative to everyone's life. It truly is. And so it's something that you can share with family and friends. And I believe that in doing so, it's going to help them understand what's been going on with you. And I also think it's going to help you understand what's been going on with you. And I only had the aha moment just recently and put two and two together that, wow, I'm grounded. I feel that. I know what that means. And when I had that aha moment, I'm like, oh my God, I understand now, because I'd read months ago that there was an epidemic of being ungrounded. And I'm like, I'm not sure I get that. And so, but it wasn't until I had that aha moment of, wow, I'm centered, I'm here, I'm present, and it's all the time. And that's why things aren't overwhelming me like they did. It wasn't until then that it all started coming together for me. So there's a lot of talk about mindfulness out in the world right now. It's along the same lines. It's about being present in self. And it's going to be very important to do that. I know we talked about this some yesterday, going from Capricornian time to Aquarian time, going from things being slower paced and things take time to air thinking, to where things are going to be manifested almost instantaneously. If we're not grounded and staying calm instead of getting lost in the chaos around us, then we're going to be manifesting lives that we don't want. So this is very important for everyone to be doing, but especially if you're in the chronic pain and invisible illness community, this will make a big difference in your life. I know that my friend Elizabeth Kipp, in her book about chronic pain, she does talk about how the breath has so much to do with it. Well, breath work is where you start at with grounding, in many forms of grounding. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm not going to go on and on about grounding now. We're just going to move on to doing what we're here to do. But if anyone has questions, I'm happy to answer them. But the way we're going to do today is I'm going to stay in the chair to show you all that you don't have to get down in the floor, because I did have that question yesterday is, do we have to get in the floor? And I'm like, no, you don't have to get in the floor. You can stand up, you can sit in a chair. You can, what matters is that whatever point is your base point, that's what matters. Now, in my case, because I'm sitting in the chair, it's going to be my root chakra is what I will use, which is at the base of my spine. So today the way we're going to ground is I'm going to do it from the top down, and yes, you can do it that way too. And so what I do, and it's not required, it's again, this is our journey together. You do your journey your way, but I do breathe in white light. I do believe that I'm breathing in bright white healing light from source, the divine source, universe, God. So that is a part of what I do. So we will breathe. We'll breathe in bright white light. That's optional if you don't want to do that. And we will balance each of the chakras. When we get to the heart chakra, I will call in Saint Germain and the violet flame to clear out blockages and restrictions and any bad programming or anything that's happened that is preventing us from being able to be in touch with our intuition and being in touch with source and to live our best lives possible. I won't make a long ceremony out of it. I'll just call in the violet flame and we'll do that. And then we'll move on to the solar plexus, where I do call back all of the power that we may have, or energy that we may have left scattered about. So I do call that back. So those are two things that I'll be doing that may be a little different for you. So I do want to point those out. So let's get started. After we've done our grounding and balancing our chakras and energy clearing, we will have raised our vibration. Then we'll do a little more breath work to raise our vibration some more, and then we will manifest our day. And I have kind of a different way for you to do manifesting today too. So let's get started. You want to sit erect, straight, with the spine straight, or you can be lying down even, but you want the spine straight, because the point is the chakras run in a straight line, and so we want the energy to be able to flow. So we're balancing those and clearing those so the energy can flow. So that's why you need to be straight. I know that some people have had those questions too, so I wanted to answer that. So first thing I want to do is breathe in from the lower part, the belly area, like a baby does, diaphragmatic breathing, and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, I have bright white light right here that I'm going to be breathing in. And for me, this is from universe, source, God. Now I'm going to breathe it in through the crown chakra. Okay? So, here we go. Crown chakra is at the top of the head. And so with the crown chakra rotating clockwise, I want to open. I want to breathe in bright white healing light. And I want to let that fill my whole body, permeate all parts of my body. When I breathe out, I'm taking the negative energy from my body and pushing it, in my case, through my root chakra into the earth to be transmuted back into positive energy. If you're standing, then it'll be through the root chakra and then down through your legs and feet. And if you're sitting on the floor, then through the root chakra, because you're sitting on the floor. So breathe in the white light again through my crown chakra now. And this time I'm going to come to the third eye to balance it. Now I have violet light shining at the third eye, which is here, and this is like our spiritual vision for a simple way of putting it. Rotating clockwise, Balance the crown chakra. Breathe out. Push the negative energy out all the way to the center of the earth. Good. Okay, breathing in again, the bright white healing light. This time bringing it to the throat chakra. Bringing in blue light for the throat chakra, rotating clockwise. Breathe out. Let all of the negative energy be transmuted to the earth, all the way to the center. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do when I breathe in the bright white healing light is I'm going to stop at the thalamus. So this is different for some people. The thalamus is like our beacon to the universe that we are here. It is where our energy comes into us. So I'm going to breathe in the bright white healing light through the crown chakra. Stop here and just tap lightly. And this is all through intention. It's through thought vibration. The universe is very aware of what our intent is. So you don't have to hit the exact spot. Breathe out, letting all the negative energy go out through the root chakra into the earth to be transmuted. Some question why I don't breathe out through the mouth always. The nasal passages, when we breathe in and out through it, they're designed to keep us moist. Many people with chronic pain and visible illnesses have dry mouths to begin with because of medications, that sort of thing. So it's just a habit I got into long ago. There's nothing wrong with breathing out through the mouth. I know many of the gurus will tell you breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, but it is okay to breathe out through the nose if for drying reasons that's what you prefer to do. So that's one of the reasons why I go ahead and do it, is to encourage people who need to do that it's okay. So now breathe in the white light. This time we're coming all the way down to the heart chakra. Heart chakra, we want to call in green light. Rotate clockwise. Let our heart chakra be balanced. Breathe out. While here, I want to call in Saint Germain and the violet flame. The violet flame is something that has been known about by many healers. The knowledge has not been lost, but it's only become more common knowledge recently in the past few years. The violet flame is something that Saint Germain is the keeper of, and it is able to transmute all negative energies of any kind, blockages, restrictions, bad programming, illnesses, bad karma. So there are long ceremonies for using the violet flame. We're not going to do a long ceremony to do it for just a general clearing. You can use the violet flame every day, and the violet flame does not have to have someone who is trained to use it. It is for everyone to use. That is the knowledge that we're all coming to, is that this is something we can all use. So now I want you to imagine there's violet light. Breathe in the violet light into the heart chakra area. Now, from this violet light, we have a violet flame in the heart. It's a flame that doesn't burn us. But take a deep breath into the heart chakra. And we ask that the violet flame expand in the heart chakra. And that any blockages, restrictions that we have in the heart due to bad programming, past traumas, past life issues, anything that is restricting us, that is keeping us from being able to access our intuition, to live from our heart, to access the divine, anything that is holding us up in life, we ask the violet flame to clear that out now. Another deep breath as the violet flame expands. Breathe out, transmuting the energies into the earth. We ask that the space that is being cleared be filled with love. Thank you, Saint Germain. Now we're going to pull the bright white healing light down to the solar plexus, which is our belly area. So let's breathe through the crown chakra. Pull this down to our solar plexus. At the solar plexus, we have yellow light that we call in. Rotate clockwise to balance it. Now I ask my guardian angels and guides to help from across the universe, all time and space and dimensions, to bring back any energy, any power that I have left that should be coming back to me. And I feel immediately a tightening in the solar plexus area as that energy comes back to me. Thank you, guides, archangels. Thank you, divine. Now breathe in through the crown chakra again, all the way down this time to this sacral chakra, which is between the belly button and the root chakra, so like 2 inches below the belly button. Let's breathe down to there. Breathe in the bright white light. Pull it down to the sacral chakra. We stop here, call in the orange light. Rotate clockwise. Again, this is all with just intent. If you're like, well, I'm not feeling anything or seeing anything, that's okay. It's all about intent. Now breathe out, down through the root chakra, transmuting the negative energies into the earth that you breathe out. We have one more chakra left. It's the root chakra. So we're going to breathe all the way, bright white light, all the way now down through the crown chakra, through all of our balanced chakras, through the root chakra. And this time, when we breathe out, we will be transmuting the negative energies into the earth. But we will also then afterwards pull energy back up from the earth and pull it all the way back up to our heart chakras. Okay, so here we go. Breathing in the bright white healing light through the crown chakra. Pulling it down through all of our chakras, all the way down to the root chakra at the base of the spine. Now we call in a red light and rotate the chakra clockwise, again through just intent of the mind. Now breathe out any negative energies, pushing them all the way to the center of the earth. All the way to the center. Now, just with intent of the mind, pull up transmuted, clean energy, positive energy now from the earth up through. If it's your feet on the floor or if you're sitting on the floor, pull up through your legs or through the root chakra, up through your legs to the root chakra now, up through the root chakra, the sacral chakra, solar plexus, up to the heart chakra. And breathe. Now connect to the bright white healing light again. And we're going to pull bright white healing light down to the heart chakra as well to meet. And now here we are, a pillar of light, the bright white healing light from the divine, all the way through us, meeting at our heart with energy that we've pulled up from the earth. So we are connected to the divine, grounded with the earth from which we came. We are, of course, made of our physical bodies. And we are now a pillar of light, grounded, centered, connected to the divine and to the earth. So let's breathe into the heart chakra. Now we're going to do some breath work to help further raise our vibrations. What we just did raises our vibration, but we're going to do this now with some breath work. Yesterday we did breath work with the count of 5. Today we're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, hold 1, 2, 3, breathe out 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do that 3 times. So breathing into the heart chakra, breathing in bright white healing light. 1, 2, 3, in, hold 2, 3, out 2, 3. In 2, 3, hold 2, 3, out 2, 3. One more time. In 2, 3, hold 2, 3, out 2, 3. Now today, I want to talk to you about manifesting your day. Yesterday, I talked to you about how we wanted to be high vibrational, but not a chaotic high vibrational. Sometimes love, joy, sometimes those where we're a little chaotic, we're a little light-headed, a little airheaded, a little, like when we're dancing around having fun. We want to be in the more calm state of love and joy, such as a blissful state, because we want to be centered and sober-minded whenever we are manifesting. We can manifest a lot of chaos, even from a high vibrational state, and then later on say, oh my gosh, what did I do? So we want to be in that blissful state. We want to be calm and centered. I want you to think about what is the biggest thing you have for today. The reason we want to manifest the biggest thing of our day is that's going to set the tone for how our whole day is manifested. We are manifesting all the time, whether we realize it or not. We manifest through our thoughts, emotions, and intent. So we should manifest with intent, not just passively. It shouldn't be just let manifesting happen in us willy-nilly and us not realize it. Let's manifest our lives with intent, especially now that we've moved into air energy, because manifesting is going to be happening like this. You can manifest yourself a mess of a life really quickly if you're not grounded, centered, and manifesting with intent. So today, the way I want to recommend that you manifest is take whatever your biggest thing is for today. Maybe it's an appointment somewhere. Maybe you're staying home and you've got all sorts of chores at home you're going to do. Maybe it's got to do with schooling or working at home. Or maybe you're getting out today. Or maybe it's about your health. Whatever it is that you want to manifest today, write down specifically what you're wanting. Be very specific about what you want. If it's about your health, how much better do you want to feel? Go for the gusto here. When we're asking the universe for things, it's okay to ask for the gusto. If it's that you're going to an appointment, ask that it be on time, that the appointment turns out the way you want it to, that it doesn't cost you more than you expect, that the insurance covers it all if it's a doctor's appointment. Manifest that appointment out exactly the way you want it. Take this one thing and manifest it exactly the way you want it on a piece of paper. Write it out. And then after you've done that, then hand it up to the universe, however you want to do that. Some people like to think of it as lifting it up and giving it to the universe. Some people like to think of then visualizing it as a program that can be downloaded or uploaded to the universe. However you want to do it, hand that over to the universe and ask that your day, that this particular issue be manifested for you in this way. Trust that it will, but also tell the universe, God, the divine, that if there is something better for me, then I accept that willingly as well. This way we don't cheat ourselves out of better blessings. And then just expect that that's how it's going to be. If you find yourself second guessing that, like you really did ask that for something, you're like, wow, that was too much to ask for. No, go back to the universe has my back. Make yourself think something positive. Anytime you find yourself thinking something negative, turn it into a positive, but especially if it's something that you've specifically manifested. And leave it to the universe to handle. So, it took us about 35 minutes, but about like yesterday, but we did talk about how grounding and centering and clearing our energies is so important if you have chronic pain and invisible illness. So we did spend some time on that, which I felt was very important. And we have grounded, centered, cleared our energies, cleared our hearts with the violet flame, and we have another way of manifesting our day. So I hope that you all are enjoying this. I hope that you're finding it helpful. I believe that if you will adopt these practices as a part of your everyday life, you will indeed see a change. I know I have. I was not in good shape with fibromyalgia when all of this started. I was not in good shape, period, whenever I started down this path. And I'm not going to tell you that this has taken away every issue that I had. Life is always going to have issues. What this has done, though, it's given me the ability to deal with those issues. Something that you would have thought in 55 years I would have gotten much sooner. But it really has taken this practice to get me to this point. And so I feel that strongly about it, and that's why I'm taking the time to do it with you every morning. So tomorrow we'll talk about another reason why we should ground. I'm going to stay on grounding for a while because there's so much about grounding. And we will do the same thing again, and I will show you another way to ground and do the chakras. And we will also go over another way to manifest. So it'll be a little different every day. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you for coming and joining me today. Always my goal is for you to be authentic to self, home, but to come on this journey with me. Close your eyes, open your minds, come along. Have a great day.